Russia lost 5,937 soldiers, 41 artillery systems, and 35 armored personnel vehicles, or APVs, in a single day during the ongoing war with Ukraine. Ukrainian forces reported these losses, with Russia's total casualties reaching 407,240 soldiers. Additionally, Russia has lost a significant number of artillery systems, armored combat vehicles, tanks, and military jets throughout the conflict. The casualty figures on both sides have been high, with Ukraine also suffering substantial losses. The conflict has seen intense fighting and significant destruction of military equipment on both sides. Russia's losses include troops, aircraft, tanks, artillery systems, and other military assets as reported by Ukrainian sources and confirmed by leaked assessments. The conflict between Russia and Ukraine, known as the Russo-Ukrainian War, began in February 2014 following Ukraine's Revolution of Dignity. The conflict escalated in February 2022 when Russia launched a full-scale invasion of Ukraine, occupying more territory. Despite fierce resistance, Russia abandoned an attempt to take Kiev in early April. Ukrainian forces have since recaptured territories in the northeast and south. In spring 2023, Russia declared the annexation of partially occupied regions, facing condemnation. The war has led to a refugee crisis, tens of thousands of deaths, and significant humanitarian needs. Both sides have suffered casualties, with Ukraine receiving substantial aid from the United States and other allies. The situation remains volatile, with ongoing military operations and diplomatic efforts to resolve the conflict. According to updates from the General Staff of Ukraine's armed forces, during 24 hours, Russia lost 41 artillery systems and 35 armored combat vehicles, or APVs. These figures were part of broader losses reported by Ukraine, which included the loss of 1,160 soldiers over the same time frame. As of the last available data, Russia had lost a total of 9,867 artillery systems, 12,373 armored combat vehicles, 6,523 tanks, and 339 military jets throughout the conflict. However, these figures cannot be verified independently by Newsweek, and they may differ from official reports released by Russia's defense ministry. The eastern town of Avdiivka has been a focal point of intense battles, earning it the grim label of a meat grinder. Ukrainian forces faced high casualty counts and resource absorption during their years-long defense of the city, which ultimately turned into a withdrawal under intense Russian pressure. Ukrainian Commander-in-Chief Oleksandr Syrskyi confirmed the decision, citing the need to avoid encirclement and preserve lives. Following Avdiivka's fall, Russian forces are reportedly advancing in 5 main directions. Casualty estimates vary, with Ukraine's figures often exceeding those of Western allies. Moscow rarely discloses its casualty numbers, with the last known figure provided by Russian Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu in September 2022, stating 5,937 troops killed since the war began. Ukraine, on the other hand, has not updated its casualty figures. A leaked U.S. Defense Intelligence Agency assessment from April 2023 estimated Ukrainian casualties at 124,500 to 131,000, including 15,500 to 17,500 dead. In a positive development for Ukraine, the country reported success in destroying Russian military jets. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky praised the achievement in a video address, acknowledging the excellent results achieved by the air forces in protecting the sky. Ukrainian Air Force spokesperson Yuri Inat shared insights into the impact of downing Russian planes, stating that Russian aircraft deployments have decreased after recent losses. Inat emphasized that the occupiers hesitate to approach closer after such incidents, citing a noticeable effect across the northern, southern, and eastern fronts. On a positive note, Ukraine's Bulava strike unit managed to destroy 2 Russian T-72 tanks, S-60 anti-aircraft guns, a BMP-3 Russian infantry fighting vehicle, Ural 4320 off-road vehicles, and a rare BMPT known as the Terminator, designed to accompany tanks in battle. A Ukrainian report, however, made no mention of Russian gains in the Donetsk region, the focal point of Moscow's slow advance in eastern Ukraine. The report highlighted clashes around Avdiivka, which was captured by Russian forces last week, as well as other areas contested for months. Russia's defense ministry stated that its troops successfully pushed back Ukrainian forces near Klishchivka, Dilivka, and Kurdamivka villages south of Bakhmut, a town captured by Russian troops last May, but still an active area for Ukrainian forces. The report also mentioned that Moscow's troops had taken better positions near Avdiivka, stating, "In the Avdiivka direction, units of the center group of forces occupied more advantageous lines and positions." The Russian Defense Ministry claimed victories in the Donetsk direction, saying units of the southern grouping of troops improved the situation along the front line and defeated formations of the 22nd, 28th, and 92nd Mechanized Brigades of the Armed Forces of Ukraine. The ministry reported that Russian troops repelled 7 Ukrainian counterattacks in the area, destroying 77 Ukrainian drones in the process. On the Ukrainian side, the General Staff of Ukraine's Armed Forces reported that Kiev's forces had repelled 18 attacks near Avdiivka and successfully beaten back 5 Russian attacks near Bakhmut. In the Seversk and Slobozhansk directions, the enemy maintains a military presence in the border areas, conducts active diversionary activities to prevent the transfer of our troops to threatening directions, and increases the density of mine and explosive barriers along the state border and the Belgorod region. In the Kupiansk direction, our defenders repelled 8 attacks near the Sinkivka of the Kharkiv region, where the enemy tried to break through the defense of our troops. In the direction of Bakhmut, the defense forces repelled 10 enemy attacks near the settlements of Bodanivka, Ivanovske, and Klishchivka of the Donetsk region. In the Avdiivka direction, Ukrainian defenders continue to hold back the enemy, who does not stop trying to surround Avdiivka. Our soldiers firmly hold the defense, inflicting significant losses on the invaders. In the Marinka direction, Ukrainian soldiers continue to hold back the invaders near Georgievka and Novomikhailivka, Donetsk region, where 26 attacks were repelled. In the Zaporizhzhia direction, the defense forces repelled 2 enemy attacks in the Robotyne region of the Zaporizhzhia region. In the fast-paced world of military innovations, the events we've explored demonstrate the importance of adaptability, technological superiority, and strategic acumen. The clash between the US and Russian forces serve as a compelling example of how decisive victories can reshape the geopolitical landscape. The clash between the US and Russian forces serves as a compelling example of how decisive victories can reshape the geopolitical landscape.